Hello, everybody. My name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you WWC Week 9 recap. I am joined by Slick
How's it going?
and Zippy,
Hello.
and they're here to make sure I don't screw up the math because we're in playoff picture time, and this is where the season gets interesting for some people, other people not so much, and I get really confused on clinching scenarios, but Ian is currently 8-1 plus 33. I don't know who's going to beat him at this point. It's Zippy's turn to go up against the meat grinder, so we'll see if Zippy gives Ian his second loss.
Hope springs eternal. You never know.
Yep, Savage in second, Blaze in third, Checkmate in fourth, Slick, you're sitting in fifth, Zippy right behind you in sixth, Acorn in seventh, and Kyle in eighth. Those are your, if the season ended today, playoff teams. But still alive and chasing. Spare has a chance. PokeFan, who took over for Photon, still has a chance. Matthias still has a chance. Because Damien has not played enough games, he still has a chance. And then this is where Sad Boy Hours begin. So because the current 8th seed can get no less or no more than 6 losses, Board with 8 eliminated, myself with 7 eliminated, Huff with 7 eliminated. The teams with 6 losses already, Suspect, Matt, Thriller, Jake, and Naily. Any of those teams lose a game, and you're eliminated because, 6 or 7 losses is too much to surpass. And unfortunately, in the next week, Jake and Matt still play. I play Naily. Damien still has to play both Suspect and Matt. So if Damien knocks out Suspect and Matt, Jake can knock out, or Matt could knock out Jake with a win, and I could knock out Naily, and then we're down to 13.
Yeah, it's getting to the nitty-gritty at this point.
Yeah,
Sure.
so unfortunately, and we won't talk much about the teams down at the bottom once they hit that 7 loss mark, because, I mean, we're all just toasty bacon at that point. But the teams that are up top, Ian actually has clinched. He hasn't clinched the 1 seed, but he's clinched at least playoffs because by virtue of scheduling. The rest of the teams 2 through 13 that are still alive cannibalize each other. They still have to play each other. So last season's champ has already clinched. I believe. I believe a win by Ian and a loss by Blaze should clinch Ian the top seed.
Oh, yeah.
Or one of the top 2 seeds, not the top seed, but definitely one of the top 2 seeds because he owns the head-to-head over Blaze. So
yeah,
Ian's in prime position to pick whoever he wants. His remaining schedule, he's got to play Zippy, which is huge play. His entire schedule has huge playoff implications.
it pretty much affects everyone what he plays. It
Because
affects their playoff chances.
he plays you, Zippy, obviously this week, which you kind of need the win to hang on with the 5-win teams coming after you.
A little closer than I'd like to be, but I'll hold out, I hope.
And then Matthias and Spare, 2 teams that are also fighting, who are currently out of playoffs, but are fighting to get in. So Ian holds a tremendous amount of power on the playoff picture still.
And I think it's interesting to note with Ian is he definitely has the ability to control who he would like to face in playoffs. So it might be interesting to see him. I don't know if he would do this, but he could potentially throw a few matches.
I don't think he will, because the only people that he could target to take out that really threaten him in my mind are the 6-win teams. But Czech, and we'll get to his schedule, Czech basically controls his destiny. You basically control your destiny. Zippy basically controls his destiny. So it'd be if he tries to take out Acorn and
any of the 6-win teams right now definitely control their own destiny.
And I know that Ian does not want to play Spare. I know that he doesn't want to go up against Spare, so I wouldn't see a reason why he would not try hard versus Spare to keep him. Unless Spare's clinched, then he might not play his Week 12 seriously. But if Spare's fighting for that last spot, I could very easily see Ian try to take him out, because I know that Ian doesn't like playing Spare after championship last season.
Alright.
So Ian has massive dictating. Savage, pretty much, if he beats Blaze, should have his spot wrapped up, and probably has the second seed wrapped up. He'd have the tiebreaker over Blaze, and then he plays two of the worst record. You never count them out, but just from a record standpoint, Savage should be clinched. But there again, there's the top two teams cannibalizing. Yeah, two of the top three teams cannibalizing. So, but Savage is sitting in a pretty good position. 2 wins guarantees.
He's got a very high differential as well, so it's not likely that anyone catches him.
Yeah, 9 wins should be the guarantee mark. Depending on what happens in Week 10, 8 wins might be the clinch mark.
I think 8 does. I'm pretty sure it does.
So, Savage should be riding very well. Blaze has a very tough schedule. Could potentially slip out. He does have to play Savage. He still has to play Checkmate, and he's got PokeFan, who's on the outside desperately trying to get in. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, he's performed very well this season, but it's going to be he's definitely going to have to prove himself these last 3 weeks in order to secure his playoff spot.
Yeah, and I mean, he's beaten some pretty good competition. He lost to Ian, but who hasn't? He beat Spare. He did accidentally lose. Well, not accidentally, but he did give one up to Suspect. And he did just 6-0 you, Zippy.
Okay, well, I was hoping you were going to glance over that, but...
I'm sorry, I see big 6-0. I mean, yours was a haxed 6-0.
Well,
very haxy.
It kicked off with hacks, and then it never really got back from there. You just ended up pivoting.
There's no way you were making it back from that point.
Yeah, the Volcarona pivoting was just too good after the insta-freeze, so... I mean, hey, that's what happens. I can't bring... Well, I'll have to bring, a Spearberry Vileplume my next game, and I won't have to worry about that anymimore.
Freeze is such a stupid...
It was haxy, but I think he did capitalize on it. He knew...
absolutely did.
Pay off that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Freeze is such a stupid mechanic, too.
It really is there to get rid of it.
They need...
If you're watching, please.
They need to fix it, so it's not,
not a
infinite freeze.
Unthaw.
It needs to be like Sleep, where after 2 turns you're guaranteed to thaw.
Yeah, make it.
Or literally just increase the percentage, make it a 1 out of 4 chance to get out, as compared to 1 out of 10.
Fair enough.
Just
or increase it every time you're frozen. Like, I don't know.
Because paralysis got nerfed, and so
all the statuses are getting slightly nerfed. Yeah.
So Freeze is the only one that's still kind of broken, but so that's
anyway.
Yeah, Blaze's schedule. I mean, Checkmate also plays a lot of teams on the playoff side. He's got Spare, Blaze, and Acorn. So Checkmate does have a lot of dictation on the outcome of the playoff picture too. This is where I said this is why Ian's clinched, because the top has to cannibalize itself so much.
Yeah, like if Checkmate beats Spare this week, I'm pretty sure that clinches Ian.
Oh, Ian's clinched already.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but it'll probably give Savage a clinch. Yeah, probably give Savage a clinch if he beats Blaze. I mean, Slick, your schedule's pretty well wide open. You have to play Damien, who's still in it, fighting for a playoff position potentially. You got to play me, and I'm out. And my season's been horrific this season, so I mean, go ahead and chalk that one up for a win. I've already marked it down as a loss in my book.
Then Kyle lost.
And then Kyle. So
Tyler have been pretty back and forth. So that honestly, depending on how his last 2 games go and how my last 2 games go, I don't know how I'm going to take that match.
Yeah, that match could be make or break for him. But you definitely are sitting in a very good position with yours, and Zippy, you got to get through Ian, and then you're sitting.
And then I got Damien and Suspect for my last 2 weeks.
Yeah, which again, even though they're bottom teams, you can't count them out because.
And I'm
I would say Damien's the bottom team. Yes.
Yeah, Damien's fighting for a playoff position, and because he's 2 games behind, we don't know if he might be 3-6 with the rest of the 3-6 teams.
Could very well be 5-4.
He could, yes, he could also be 5-4, right in the thick of it. So.
Yeah.
I'm not counting either of them out, but it is
from a strength of schedule perspective, you're in a very good position.
That's. You basically took my thoughts and actually put them nice and succinct. That's basically what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, from a strength
I'm going to take them
schedule,
very seriously, but it's easier than the other teams.
Yeah, you have to get through Ian, but when you stack up the rest of the playoff teams' strength of schedules, you're one that's in a very good position once you get through Ian.
Fingers crossed on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Acorn's Acorn, in my opinion, has the biggest playoff in what's the word? I don't know.
Acorn and Blaze both have Acorn, Blaze, and Czech have like the highest impact on playoffs because they all play.
They all play playoff.
Yeah.
Teams were like fighting for playoff teams.
Acorn and Czech play each other, and so that's definitely one that is pretty massive.
Acorn plays Pokefan this week. That's going to be huge.
And then he's got to play Kyle, who's currently the 8th seed.
One of them out.
It won't knock. I don't think it knocks out Acorn if he loses.
Not them out, but it will severely knock them back.
Yeah, it'll definitely put him, because he's the 7th seed right now, I believe. So it'll definitely put him in a very precarious position going in versus Kyle, who is the 8th seed. So. Like those 3 have so much cannibalism to do, and it's about to get wild to see these top teams start to fight each other. And
yeah, I'm excited to see how the cards end up falling.
Like I think the
top the best playoff picture we've had.
Yeah, the top. Well, by this point in season 3, we had our playoffs set, and by this point in season 2, I think all but 2. Yeah, I think all but 2 spots were set at this point in Season 2, and in Season 1, the playoffs were already going on because we only had 9 weeks in Season 1.
I would say this was definitely the hypest kind of playoff picture.
Oh, this is it's going to get down to the bone, especially with only 8 out of 20 going in. So
yeah.
And then obviously the last team, Kyle, he's got to play Board, which should be it should, based on strength of schedule, be a win. But then again, he's got to go through Acorn and you, and being the 8th seed, he's in a dangerous position.
And his differential is quite low, so if he does lose a match, he will struggle to keep ahead of the likes of any 5-4 team.
Yeah, because all the 5 and 4 teams have positive differential.
Yeah, exactly. So that might backfire on him. He's definitely in a position where he has to win.
Yeah, and that's the other thing with you, Zippy, and also Acorn, because you guys are only at +3. Like,
it's
the 6th, 7th, and 8th drop 1 game, and the 5 and 4 teams can all creep on in because +10, +9, and +7.
Yeah. I just gotta hope to beat Ian and then hope he turns around and bops a couple of the 5 and 4 teams down for me.
Pretty much. Like, the only thing I can think of is if Ian clinches the number 1 seed and he's already got his matchup set, that would be the only thing where I think, okay, Ian knows he's clinched 1, his opponent that he wants to play has clinched a playoff position, then he might not, like, care.
Yeah,
maybe.
And that could be something that comes back to bite the lower end seeds, but we'll see. Spare has a very rough time because he's got to go through Czech and Ian, and he's on the outside.
I think if he loses to Czech, it's going to put him in a position where it's going to be tough for him to kind of climb back in.
Yeah, he loses the Czech. He's probably gonna be need a lot of help to get in.
Yeah,
at that point, it might.
Since the fact that that adds a win onto the 6 and 3 team, and then adds a loss to him, he'll be 2 games behind Czech then,
Yeah.
which is just.
Which
and then
means he's chasing. Well, and if Zippy wins this week versus Ian, then
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
like, yeah, if all the 6-win teams win this week, the 5-win teams are in severe trouble.
Yeah, basically the 5-win teams are the only ones with the route in at that point.
Yeah, all the 3-win teams would be, or all the 6-loss teams would automatically be
Eliminated.
because of the fact that the minimum win total is 7.
And that's definitely possible at this point because actually, like the 6-win teams right now, none of us play each other this week.
Yeah, you play.
Actually, yeah.
You play Damien. Czech plays Spare. Zippy plays Ian. Acorn plays Pokefan. So again, if he wins, Pokefan drops one.
Yeah.
And Kyle plays who?
He plays
Board. Yeah. So if all the 6-win teams win this week, the 5-win teams are all 2 games back with 2 to go. Besides Matthias, who doesn't play any of you guys.
And then Jake and Naley are out.
Yeah, and all the
and
Thriller and Matt and Suspect. So yeah, if all the 6-win teams win this week, this playoff picture could clear up very quickly, barring
very easily, yeah.
2 teams. So yeah, Pokefan.
See how it goes.
Pokefan doesn't have it any easy either because of Acorn and Blaze with Thriller wedged in. Matthias just Matthias is in a good position just because the only playoff team he's got left is Ian, but so he's not in a terrible position.
He doesn't control his own fate though at this point.
No, he does not control his own fate. He needs help, but he's in the best position of the 5-win teams because the other 2 have to play multiple playoff teams and each other. Yeah. Damien, because he's unknown, he does not control his destiny. He needs help, but if he beats Suspect and Matt,
catch-up games, then maybe.
Yeah, if he wins his catch-up games, and then if he beats Naley, it's really going to come down to you 2 because he's still got to play the 2 of you. If he pulls off 4 out of 5 wins here, he could possibly make playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. I think 7 and 5 is probably the cutoff.
That might not even be enough, though, depending on differential with people.
Yeah.
Or head-to-head matchups if people start tying.
Yep.
Which
thing we've cross mentioned that as well. There's a top me and Czech are tied on differential, and then Zippy and Acorn are tied differential, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Which, thinking about it real quick, I haven't heard any mention of it. If there are 2 teams with the same record and the same differential, but they didn't play each other during the season, do they have to play a tiebreaker?
So Jake and I
seeding that probably have to happen, yeah.
Jake and I kicked this around, and we debated whether or not we'd have a play-in match, which is what NCL does, or if we would go by strength of schedule. And at looking at it, strength of schedule is incredibly hard to
determine.
It's hard to justify, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to. Well, it's not hard to justify because you just go and you take the number of wins, the winning percentage of the coaches that the one team played versus the winning percentage of the coaches that the other team played.
Yeah.
And that's not hard to do, but it's just annoying and it's a pain.
And at the same time, I think a play-in game wouldn't be great because if those 2 get faced off in playoffs again, then it's kind of just not great.
No, it'd be a play-in game for
Yeah, it would be a play-in game
if
8th and
7th, 8th
are tied.
are tied.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or 8th, 9th are tied, yeah, then it'd be a playoff.
If let's say 6 and 7 tied, then you couldn't do a play-in.
If it's tied 6-7 for
then
the playoff teams are tied, then it's
just think that
it doesn't really matter unless they're picking their opponent.
Yeah.
True.
Because the 1 seed picks, then the 2 seed picks. So if 1 and 2 don't pick the 3rd seed, then the 3rd seed gets the pick, and the remaining.
Well, the lowest pick that can have a 3rd pick would be the 5 seed then.
Yes. So it really doesn't matter outside of the top 5 who or where people finish. But
Yeah.
in that case, we'd throw it to the site. But if 8 and 9 are tied going into it,
That's a playing game.
it's a playing game. Yeah, that's what Jake and I decided.
Anyway.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check that.
Yeah, no, it's a playing game.
Okay.
We just decided that was easier to do, was just to do a playing game. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
we're winding down here on the 3 and 6 teams that are still in it to give an idea. I mean, Naily has a good chance because he plays me and Board.
He's a decent schedule to go off of.
But he has to have so much help.
Basically,
Basically,
differential-wise, yeah.
he has to have so much help because basically every 6-win team has to lose this week
Yeah, basically.
to keep him alive, and he has to have Matthias lose as well. So it's very delicate for Naily. He's got short odds. Same thing with Jake. He has, besides Matthias, he has a pretty decent schedule, but again, same position. He needs every 5-win or 6-win team to lose, plus Matthias this week to keep his chances.
Yeah.
And same with Thriller. Thriller has a difficult schedule with 2 of the 5-win teams still ahead of him.
I mean, I'd say that's a difficult thing, but that's also a good thing because then, like, if he beats them, has the opportunity to pass them out.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely gives him the head-to-head if it comes to differential. So
Yeah.
and then yeah, so that's where we're sitting as far as the playoff picture goes. Ian clinched, and the fun fireworks get to start. So those highlight matches of the week might be surfacing again with some of these playoff implication matches.
Yeah.
As far as the statistics go, I mean, is anyone even surprised at this point that G-Max, Melmetal, Mega Charizard, and Grimmsnarl are still in the top 3?
The boys.
I mean, Melmetal G-Max just went over 20, so... And if G-Max stays in WWC next season, which for those of you that didn't know, we're going to vote on that and see if we're going to keep it or not. G-Max Melmetal is banned. I don't care what
100%.
happens if G-Max
It's way
stays
too
or not. It's banned. This just proves that it is actually busted and needs to go away.
It's just way too bulky. Like, it doesn't die to one hit ever.
And nothing can take a hit nothing can take 2 hits defensively.
Unless you're a Mega Aggron, that's me. But yeah.
That's about it. That's the only thing that can take 2 hits defensively. So
Yeah.
but then we've got Gardevoir, Charizard G-Max, which for a mid-season to strike up to 5th already, that thing's just going off. Mega Arrow, Standard Garchomp, Victini, Slick got G-Darm into the top 10 finally.
Yay.
Diancie in top 10. Your Florges is still here, Zippy.
Not top 10 anymore because I didn't end up bringing it this week, but
You just
that's
need
alright.
1 kill and you're tied for top 10.
Yeah, it'll be back.
That's actually hilarious. There's just a random floor just in with all these
Mhm.
ones.
I mean,
It'll be
Gardevoir
back.
is in 4th, so that's arguably...
I mean, I wouldn't think Gardevoir is normally up there, but I'm actually not surprised.
Gardevoirs do like to run offense. Florgs,
Yeah, a lot of the time.
take it from the guy who's been playing it. That's been a defensive Florgs every time I brought it. It's mainly indirect kills.
Still, Florges is in the top 20, so...
I mean, yeah, we take that.
If you can finish it up on the top 10, then, like, you'll take the crown away from Huff for getting the most random
Weird
Mon into the top 10 for the season.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're not... going into the top 20, I mean, okay, Empoleon's still in the top 20. That's a little weird. Still, Melmetal is finally back.
Started to climb back up.
It's finally coming back. Mew, Cinderace, but still a lot of things. I mean, my Charizard is not that far out from the top 25.
At 32.
Yep, he's coming. He's a coming. We're gonna have 3 Charizards in the top 25 by the end of this season. I mean, there's still some surprises. There's still Mons that you would expect to possibly be in the top 25 that are nowhere near the
At
top
start of the
25.
season, people would have said Ashgren, but nah.
Yeah, that thing's hanging
We've
down.
learned that Mon is trash.
Yeah, can confirm. Not a fan without Z moves.
Ugh.
I mean, Megalodios, which was argued to be banned potentially, is barely in the top
I
100.
think 2 of those kills are from me, which is funny.
Yeah. I mean, there are some things that people argued are too busted and should not be allowed, and I'm looking here and I'm like, oh, hey, there's Ashgren at 126.
126 is funny.
Como with Clangorous Soul is at 131. Like, you know, Mega Scizor, the Mon that never dies because there's no hidden power fire, 137. So I'm kind of glad we didn't put the hard ban on those.
I was gonna say, because like on paper they're good, but like
In
you
season,
practice, yeah.
they haven't hardly scratched the top. Some of them haven't scratched the top 100. So, like, that just proves that there was no reason for them to even be banned potentially. So,
Potentially.
we'll see. We'll see if changing coaches next season and DLC and all that, because I know Megalopony's gonna come. People are gonna come for Megalopony to be banned, and it's gonna.
Well,
be
depending if we do Legacy or not, then it should be allowed, because
It'll be the same.
Current stocks.
It'll still have return, because it's basically we're just DLC.
Or-
I mean, we'll take a vote, but I want to keep the 4 move Pursuit and
Return
Frustration and Signal Beam are the 4 moves that we're allowing right now, and so far they haven't really made any play in the season. So
Oh, if that's the case, then yeah, Lopunny should be banned.
if Lopunny keeps return, we might have to ban it. We'll discuss it. I mean, does it even need return at this point? Because it has CC, Play Rough, U-turn, and
Like fake out.
Fake Out. So we'll talk about that. That's a future date issue, but
I got one that I would throw in there. I don't want to deal with no Cosmic Power Celesteela personally.
that might be one of the. That might be a Kieran Black situation where we
We just ban the move.
ban the move, but not the Mon.
Yeah, probably. Or even
To be fair, I've played in a few DLC leagues so far, and I haven't seen it used.
I haven't either in a few of my games, but it's like it's just the fact that it can be used is like
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of the same thing as Cresselia, because Cresselia got Cosmic Power now too.
and stored power to boot. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
And then I haven't seen that yet this season either. So
You
well,
don't really
in
see
other
Crest
leagues.
outside of like Sun teams, really.
Here I am, who drafted a Sun team and doesn't have Cress.
Well, I mean, it's not.
It's not necessary, but like
It's just she because all Cresselias are female. Really likes having the
the Morning Sun boost.
literally that.
Yeah. As far as the full statistics, which is what most people say are real in terms of your kill death leader, I mean, Melmetal's still at the top. GMAX Zard has yet to die this season.
really.
Yeah, it's 13-0. Nobody has been able to kill Zard.
Over 5 games.
Over 5
Well,
games, nobody's been able to kill it. It's now number 2, and we have 2 Charizards in the top 5. Suck it, Raisachi. Charizard's a good Mon. He loves to bash it. Florges is still in the top 10 as far as differential.
Yay!
It's number
We
9.
didn't bring it.
It's number 9. Slick, you're up there with G-Darm as
Am I
well.
up there?
Yeah, G-Darm.
Oh. Oh,
G-Darm is
Oh.
actually tied for 8th.
oh nice.
Oh, that's the 2 of us.
Yep, and Dragonite. Dragonite, Florges, Darmanitan tied for that. And then the death ratio, which is the one that I have found that I really enjoy, we still have 2 Mons at 0% death rate. GMAX Charizard hasn't died in 5 games, and Dragonite has yet to die in...
2 Mons that are weak to rocks have not died. That's actually kind of interesting.
Heavy duty boots OP.
True.
Yep.
Makes
Well, and
sense.
Savage hasn't even run heavy-duty boots on his GMAX Charizard
Has he not at all?
He has
What?
twice. He ran it twice, but of the 5 games he's brought it only twice.
Wow.
I know he brought Life Orb in 1 game. Life
That's
Don't-
too good. Yeah.
I know I ended up facing it,
so,
and I prepped so hard for it, and then I was like, because I was prepping it in the sun, because I would think, oh, it's going to set the sun with the
It
G
doesn't.
Max Fire move. I forgot about that, and I went, oh, then it's no worry then. And then the first turn of the game, it sets up its own sun with Sunny Day, and I'm just like, well, this isn't good.
yeah, no. Savage likes to lead G-Max Charizard and just go for game.
Yeah, he did, and hey,
That's-
it worked.
that's, to be fair.
So G-Max Charizard, the king of I really think that thing could probably pass Melmetal by the end of the season.
It definitely could.
I think it's the only
I
mon.
think it's the second best G-Max.
Yeah, I think it's the only mon that can really challenge Melmetal at this point. Maybe X if Matthias gets 2 more, like,
That's weak.
because he lives and dies by that Charizard. If
God.
Charizard goes off, Matthias wins. If Charizard does not go off, Matthias loses. I didn't let Charizard set up on me, but Charizard haxed me and still picked up 3 kills against me.
And Charizard got a good roll on me in the first game of the week, and then 6-0'd me.
Charizards are just they're coming back. People don't bash them.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
The one
Good boy.
the one thing that again still surprises me with this kill statistic, the deaths per match statistic, the one thing that's still really shocking to me, Jellicent, Toxapex, Vaporeon, Alomomola are all in the top 10.
Bulky water types.
They're fast, bulky water types.
They
Yeah,
don't
but
die.
They're
They never die.
by nature they're normally defensive, and most of the time you would expect defensive mons to have a higher death percentage because they get worn down and then eventually beaten. But
I mean,
And that's fair enough, but at the same time, like, sometimes those mons can just, stall their way to victory.
just
and just don't die.
exist. Yeah.
fair
And
enough.
with Toxapex and Alomomola both having Regenerator, it's pretty impossible to kill them unless you just
Toxic.
nuke it.
You toxic those.
Or
Well, you
knock them or
can't.
nuke them.
You can't toxic.
Vaporeon's got
Toxic.
heal bell though.
I know. Your Alomomola does not though, and I'm so glad that the 2 of you didn't make a mid-season trade to one of you have Mega Aggron, because I would have just ripped my hair out.
No, I'm liking.
I hate Mega Aggron Alomomola, but that's a story that's for another time. So
That's
Too
PTSD
late to
kicking
trade.
in.
no, you
Sure, hold
cannot.
on. Let's do it right now.
No.
Digby, do you want to give me the Alomomola right now?
All right, we're gonna conclude Week 10's wrap up here. Week 9's wrap up, not Week 10. Good God, my brain is fried.
Yeah, no spoilers.
It's been a long season, folks. It
has.
has. Being commissioner and then having a very shitty season, your brain kind of just melts by the end of the season.
Just gonna die by the end.
So, but we're gonna wrap it. I do want to thank Slick and Zippy for hanging out and doing this with me and making sure I got the playoff picture correct.
Mhm.
Thanks for having
And
us.
best of luck to the 2 of you on your potential clinching scenarios. And Slick, no, Slick's not the one playing Ian. Zippy.
Yeah.
I hope for your sake you don't end up getting toxic stalled.
As long as I don't get 6-0'd, I'll consider it a win.
Yeah, well, prepare for a toxic stall situation, because I have this sick feeling that Ian's gonna start toxic stalling the rest of this season just to flex. But
That's all right. I got clerics.
I can't wait to beat him in playoffs.
yeah, good luck with that. So
And I'm coming for you. I'm telling you now if you watch this video.
we're getting out of here.